What's up, y'all? Welcome. I told you, that's why I need my coffee. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Championship Philadelphia Eagles podcast. We got two of the biggest fans here, myself and Don. You good, bro?
Yeah. I'm good.
All right, man. Is there something you'd like to say?
I ain't got nothing to say, man. We'll see y'all next year.
All right.
We'll see y'all next year, man.
He lucky I didn't bring my jersey. All right.
We'll see y'all next year, man.
Reverse, boom. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Chocolate City Hoops podcast. It's your host, DJ, and I'm here with my boy Domo again, right, returning. So we just going to get right into it because we got a good one here for y'all today. We're going to start talking a little bit about March Maddess, you know, some of those draft prospects that we're going to be looking at in the tournament, and really some that may not even make the tournament either. So let's just go ahead and get started. My boy, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. How you been, man?
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. You know, good. Just, you know, doing this little podcast thing and, you know what I'm saying, hoping for the best. Anyways, so let's just go ahead and get into it. The Wizards, you know, I mean, the Wizards are who they are, who we thought they were. I think if we took a clip backwards and looked at, you know, what we talked about last time,
Yeah.
I think you coined it, it's by design.
Yes,
Right?
indeed.
It's by design. But these young boys been looking pretty good. And, you know, really can't complain about that. SARS, you know, jumping up, you know what I'm saying, looking good. This last game against Utah, as the day of this recording, you know,
Yep.
put up 23. Keyshawn George put 23. Bub's been a dog. We already knew that. I mean, everything's looking good as far as growth is concerned. What you thinking?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we in March now. You know, you're coming up on the last 2 months of the season, and your rookies are starting to have their best games. So that's what you want to see. You want to see progression. You want to see those flashes that you can take into the summer and build on. So, yeah, it's been amazing, man. Because Sean George, I would probably say, has been like the biggest surprise. Yeah. Like I knew he would be good. That was one of my guys in that 20s range. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't think it would be this soon. Like. You know, his shot is finally starting to come around because he's always had the mechanics, but it just wouldn't go in.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to go in, and then, you know, now defense are selling out on his three ball, and now he's showing you the handle, the ability to kind of knife through a defense and make reads out of that. He's just showing his complete all-around game, and defensively, man, he's been a dog. So.
You know, that goes to what, you know, Coach Keefe was preaching, though, from the beginning when he got hired. And, you know, he had his press conference. He was telling us, he's like, it's always defense first. And it didn't really seem like that. But it's like, you know, from the fan perspective, I think sometimes we want to see, like, man, what's that immediate impact? What are they going to look like? And then you almost kind of remember that as a rookie or even as a first, you know, as a young player, whether it's rookie or your second year, whatever, there's growth involved. And kind of seeing the growth from the beginning of the year till now, oh, yeah, like, KG, man, that's a whole different KG than what we was seeing. You know, Bub's been real consistent, but even with Sar, like the beginning, man, look, we was all saying the same thing. Sar wasn't, you know, looking like a quote unquote number 2 pick, but you know, what does that look like? You know, him to be a star out the gate, man. Now he's balling, he's doing some stuff. So, hey, man, looking good all around. You know, let's just go ahead and get right into the meat and potatoes of it, though. And let's talk a little bit of March Maddess. And as y'all see, I got the laptop out because we're going to start looking at some of these predictive brackets. Right now, right, it's looking like on the East, Duke, number 1. In the South, Auburn, number 1. Midwest, Houston, number 1. And in the West, Florida. Now,
A lot of SEC.
a lot. You know, I mean, look, I think the easiest one to go ahead and start off with here is Duke, right? So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of their players that, you know, could be prospects for the Wizards. And, right, if we go to Tankathon, because that's my source of information for everything, right? Obviously, let's just talk about Coop, right? Let's talk about Cooper Flag, man. What your immediate thoughts right off the top?
Yeah, man, I like Coop. I think he's by far and away he's the number 1 prospect, right? All the advanced metrics, all of the raw metrics at his age, where he's doing it at Duke, the pedigree there, players coming out of that system. He's the number 1 pick. Now, I do have some reservations on how if he's a true number one option in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I think as a GM, like you can't ask for a higher floor of a player. So, if we were to be blessed with that number one pick, I think you gotta make that selection. I just have some questions about just his fluidity with the ball. And if you're drafting him to be a cornerstone number one option for you, what that really looks like and what type of team you got to build around him. Because if he's coming to the Wizards, this isn't a team full of with an abundance of shooting that like Duke has right now.
Yeah.
Our team is more kind of like Rutgers as far as the shooting is concerned.
Yeah.
So how does that look? How does he fit in a situation where he's the on-ball creator, and it's not that type of shooting around him. So that's kind of what I worry about with him.
And I like kind of, seeing a few games and purposely, right, trying to like watch a full Duke game, even if they playing somebody they shouldn't be playing, because I feel like their schedule has been kind of easy this year. But, like there's different games. You could definitely tell, like there's no one doubting his athleticism, right? The man can jump out the gym. You seen him do a little bit of some old school post moves. I don't know, in this day's NBA, how much that will actually translate. The defense is there. But yeah, like I agree with you that my only concern is, if you're going to be number one pick, like I haven't seen that consistent takeover factor. Like can he, I'm not saying he's not talented, but it's just like, my reservations with him are that takeover factor. And then yes, that fluidity, because sometimes it kind of looks like he's a little stiff out there.
Yeah, it looks clunky.
Yeah, and it's sometimes even when it's clunky, the ball can still go in the hoop, but it looked kind of funny getting into the hoop, right? Yeah. So there's a little bit of that, but I agree with you. Like, I'll be honest, like he's not my number one pick anymore. I know that's gonna stir up, and we're gonna get to it later. I know that's gonna stir up.
About to be in your mentions.
Right, I know that's gonna stir up with Twitter all about it, but like. I would not want to be in our GM's shoes trying to make that decision, because it's like, do you go with him? Do you go with, let's just be honest. Do you go with him? Do you go with Harper? Do you go with Ace, depending on where you're at? It's like, I ain't trying to be in those shoes. I just know as a fan, I know I'd be picking number one if I had to pick, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
For sure.
Let's go to a little bit over here. Right, also on, the Duke side, which unless a trade up happens to like the lottery, which could happen. We got the 24th pick, and we also got a few 3 seconds, excuse me. So like, Con Kneppel, right? Yeah. Great shooter. That's a really good shooter actually.
Very good.
And
shooter.
then
the best shooter in the draft, honestly.
And then the big man, Kamal Malak, I can never pronounce his name, yo. Like, my bad. I don't think you'll ever see this, but my bad for screwing up your name so bad, because it never fails. No matter how many times I hear it, it's almost like I can't repeat it. But even him at Duke, 7'2", I remember seeing him I remember mentioning him before he even committed to Duke. And I think he's part of the the NBA in Africa program, and kind of seeing him ball. Just a big old school let me take that back. Not old school, but big man, 7'2", real solid around the hoop, right? Gonna have real high efficiency at the hoop, and can also stretch the floor.
Right.
Right. So it's, I almost kind of think about a little bit of Brooke Lopez.
Okay.
A little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But just a little bit more athletic. Brooke can't jump over a phone book, neither could his brother. But you know what I'm saying? He's got a little bit, not a little bit, a lot more athleticism than those two, but something a little bit like that. Or you could even from the defensive side kind of compare him to who's our center on the Hawks?
Clint Capella?
Yeah, Clint Capella.
See, I was thinking like Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka?
Yeah, like
okay.
When he moved down to center and was kind of playing full time, when the league went more to,
that's actually a good comparison. I like that.
I was thinking like Serge, like that type of athlete, defender, and then can stretch it out, shoot it a little bit.
Just taller though, because Serge
taller, because Serge like what 6'9"?
Yeah,
he's like legitimate 7 feet. So that type of player, man. I don't know if we need that with Sar here, or maybe unless you think Sar can really move to the 4.
Well,
But
remember, Saul really wanted to play that power forward
yeah, he
position
do.
so
He do.
bad, but I mean, see, that's a whole different subject. 'Cause
Right.
that's what makes the Atlanta thing seem kind of funky. I personally think he just really wanted to play with Bilal because of the French connection.
Yeah.
That's what I think, but
Yeah.
who knows? But you never know. I mean, if that would be on some Cleveland type Twin Towers type stuff,
Yeah, boy.
that would be interesting.
Lean into it.
And you know, come on, to me, definitely seems a little bit better than the boy over playing center with the afro in Cleveland. I
Oh,
think,
Jared Allen.
yeah, Jared
Yeah,
Allen
Jared Allen.
definitely
Yeah.
think he got a little bit more to his game than him,
Yeah.
besides being big and being able to block the ball. Okay, so let's go back to our bracket here, and I mean, outside of that, it's like the bracket.
Not a lot.
It's it's
It's
it's
not a
it's
lot.
not a lot. I mean, especially as we talking about for what the Wizards could possibly pick. I mean, is Baylor on this list? Let's take a look. I'm taking a look right now. I don't. I ain't even seeing Baylor. Right. I mean, you got Gonzaga up in here. Is anybody on Gonzaga's list though? I'm not. I ain't really seeing too much. I mean, okay, so you know what? We look, we know we talking college hoops. We can just go ahead and switch it to, right? Who are some other people that we're gonna be looking at? And I mean, let's just talk about Dylan Harper. Let's talk about Ace. We know Rutgers probably ain't making the tournament. So I mean, let's
Probably
talk
not.
about them. They're definitely within that range. So let's go ahead and talk
Let's get
about your
into
Ace
it.
Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, most know at this point, like Ace is one of my guys. I just think, you know, the fluidity of movement. Like to me, at his height, if he does really check out to be 6'10", I mean, to me, he's a 6'10" shooting guard.
Yeah.
And those don't grow on trees. I know he gets a lot of flack with the lack of rim pressure, but I think that's more by design with the role that he's in because again, Rutgers does not have a lot of talent, shooting talent specifically, outside of him and Harper. So when Harper's in the game, for me, Ace Bailey has to be that shooter, right? So it's a lot of spotting up, it's a lot of perimeter shots. But then when Harper is out, well, now you need Ace to be the creator. Now he got to go get 35, right? And who is he passing to? He's passing to a bunch of guys that shoot sub 30% from three, from the college three. So it's just, to me, it's the role he's in. But you see flashes when he has the ball. He don't have no problem getting to the rim and putting it on your head. Yeah. So I think if you put him in an NBA setting where it's more spacing, it's legitimate NBA shooters around him, I think you're going to see a different level, a different type of player. Again, a 6'10" shooting guard, man, and he plays defense. So that's the type of player I think the Wizards need.
I'll be honest, that's my number one now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it right here.
Say it with your chest.
I'm gonna say it with my chest. That's my number one is Ace Bailey. I just, you know what I'm saying? We had a conversation during the last part of, back before even the season started, and we were just talking about who do you think the Wizards should take? And I look, man, I'm more of a believer than ever. Just watching Ace Bailey, that's just raw talent, dog. That's just, and I don't want to be the GM to make that decision, but man, if it was up to me as a fan, I'm taking Ace like 9 times out of 10, right? Yeah. Unless there's just he gets a major injury that's hard to come back from. Not wishing that. I'm just saying just something crazy. But nah, man, that's
would it take the pressure off if the Wiz ended up with number 2?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's low key. That's kind of like I'm not saying that's kind of what I want, but then what if crazy idea, right? Breaking news right off the top of your DJ's head right here, right? What if the Wizards get number 1? Somebody really loves Cooper Flag to go up to number 1.
I see where you're going, brother.
All right.
I see where you're going.
It's still within, let's just say, because right now.
You're trying to pull a Danny Ainge.
Look, it's Charlotte and Utah right now. And Utah love that type of, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying, if you ever been to Salt Lake City, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
There's a market for him. There's a
market for
There's a market for what type of player he is.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is maybe Utah, again, all things stay the same here. Washington, Charlotte. If Charlotte and Utah really like Coop, hey, trade us to the, we fall back to number 2. See, the thing is, I'd be a little nervous to even go 3 though, because the way that I think somebody would really like Ace, they could just go and say, all right, like if Wizards trade down to number 3, all of a
That's
sudden
too
they take
far.
Ace.
That's too far. Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah.
will say I do like Dylan, right? But I do think Dylan now, if I had to choose, it's Ace, Coop, Dylan, and I
Dylan.
really like Dylan. So what I'm saying is the space between Coop and Dylan
You
is
feel
like
like it's
razor
yeah,
thin.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
thinking about like overall kind of like need where the Wizards are at, like that's and just straight talent. That's where it's at. But again, razor thin between those two. But Ace, that's where I'm at.
So a situation where like we get number 1
Yep.
and say the Jazz get number 2 and they want Cooper Flag bad.
Hey, Salt Lake.
They willing to give you number 2 plus like future 26,
Hey, hold on,
28
man.
pick.
What's Utah got right
What
now?
do they have? Yeah, what do they have
Yeah,
for
it's
this
a
draft and that? Because I'll be
Utah.
trying to load up in
Hey, because
26.
look, Utah got the number 18th pick this year. So
Right, I need that. Give me
I
that.
need that, and I need next year's.
Yeah,
So because
give me
it's
that.
like, look, from 1 to 2 or 1 to, even if we go to 3, definitely. Because look, remember the Wizards got that 24th pick in 3 seconds. So let me see. You trade. Let's say, okay, Utah's got the number 2 pick. We got number 1. We give Utah number 1, and all right, like we give you our number 1. We give you maybe a second. You're right, just to get rid of maybe one of those seconds, and then you give us your 18th pick and number 2 and a couple
Another
picks.
future
Yeah, another
unprotected
future
first.
unprotected first,
Yeah,
right? It ain't got to be next year, but it's got to be something because
something maybe
yeah,
27 or
yeah,
28.
and it's going, that OKC tree. You know what I'm saying? They always love getting future unprotected first round picks in 2032 or something. I don't
Yeah,
know, like
but
it's
they
going.
got other people's picks too. Like I would have to look and see like
What,
whose other
Utah?
picks they have. Yeah, Utah
That's what I'm
got
saying.
they ain't got some picks.
They got Minnesota's 18, and then they got, as far as second round picks, they got Dallas's 45 and the Clippers 47. So
Okay.
I mean, I mean, as far as like now what's out there in the future, I mean, I don't know. I can't see
Yeah,
what
I'm
they.
looking. They don't have. Yeah, I take that back. They don't have like a lot of future picks coming in that's from teams that are projected to
But
be
but here's
bad.
but
Then
here's what you do know. Even if you see the difference is, I think if we get Coop right and we decide to keep that pick, they choose Coop, we're definitely a fringe playing team for sure. I believe it with the talent that I've seen.
his bar. You think the floor he has day one would raise us to playing status if you take him.
Whether it's us, whether it's him or whether it's Baylor, I think the roster that we have as it sits today, and then you're like, I'm thinking about growth into the second year for some players. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, okay, now it's a full year. Kuz has been traded. Bilal takes the next step, right? It's a different role, right? All of a sudden now you got a different set of vets that are really dogs, like, you know what I'm saying? So you got a different
Yeah.
set of vets now. It's different. I really do think early bold prediction. I ain't got your crystal ball just yet, but we gonna get to it. Not yet. We gonna get to them predictions, that famous Domo crystal ball prediction. But I definitely think that we looking like playing, and and then with Ace, I feel even stronger about that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's my bold
Wow,
prediction.
that's definitely bold,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah. But look, looking at it though, again, Utah's got 18. The trade seems nice, man. I just
So you would definitely do that. You be on the phone. We get number 1, Utah number 2 or number 3 even.
yep.
They like we need Cooper Flag.
If Utah's at number 2, 100%, I'm making
100%
that call.
going.
If Utah's at number 3, like 75%, because I just
Ace might not be.
Ace
there.
may not, depending on who's ever, like I'm looking like, because who's number 2 right now is Charlotte. Charlotte seems like the type of team that would definitely go for Ace, without a shred of a doubt.
Even with Brandon Miller there. Yeah.
I think so. I think the thing is, Charlotte just to me is unpredictable in what they do, and they keep drafting. It's almost like the Pistons before they actually figured it out this year. They kept drafting like top. They went to the playoffs that one year. Then Ball got hurt. LaMelo. All of a sudden, like now they find themselves again back in this like just garbage dump.
Yeah. Now I wonder.
Situation.
It's been some scuttlebutt about LaMelo maybe getting traded. I wonder if they go Dylan Harper, and then now you move LaMelo for assets. and you just kind of start over with Dylan Harper, Brandon Miller, whoever you take, top of this draft, and you kind of build around that. Because Melo is on a max contract. Why pay a max contract salary and you picking top 3?
That means you're definitely committed to starting over for sure. And look, because they were about to their top pick, their center, right? I'm forgetting the boy's name.
Mark Williams.
Yeah, Mark Williams was about to get traded to LA.
Right.
And he, but obviously that got
connect. So that's kind of
that might be a sign.
That might be
might be a sign. But again, that makes it all you just don't know what they plan on doing.
Yeah.
So
and then the Pelicans are wild card too, because where they sit.
They have 4.
Right, and they could jump.
They could definitely.
That would I would hate that if they got the number.
Hold on, though, man. The New Orleans, man. You want to talk look? I know as a Wizards team, we can't really talk too much, but you got you want to talk about some dumpster fire organizations that I just feel like have definitely. I might have been you that has said it too. Like somebody needs to investigate
the medical staff.
Yeah, because whether it was Anthony Davis, whether it's anybody,
Boogie Cousins,
like Boogie, Drew Holiday, like anybody on their squad, like always get hurt. So it's kind of like I'm not 100% certain, to be honest.
Because with the Wizards, I feel like with the Wizards, we haven't had the talent come through the door.
No.
The Pelicans have had the talent.
That's the difference.
They just mismanage it.
That's it. Like that's the difference. Like we're either a ping pong ball away here from getting Wemby, a ping pong ball away from getting who was it? Who else was it? Zion. Yeah, we was a ping pong way ball. So it's like for us, or even worse yet, like we always are slated to be like in the top 4 or 5, then get booped down to 9 or something like that, like 9 or 10, like 2 years in a row. And it's like for us, it's more so like bad luck and not necessarily like top tier talent coming through the door. Because I'm like, Wemby or Zion coming through the door, like no one's ever complained about our medical staff. So you get them boys coming in through the door. I feel like we're obviously a way better team than we are today. But look, old news, new leadership. Brand new organization, more costly tickets next year.
I ain't mad at that.
I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. Just because you haven't put a proven product on the floor yet, but you want me to pay. I mean, to be fair, the rest of the league is doing it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's raising their prices. Yeah. I mean, but it's kind of like you probably ain't getting that many people in the door right now. But who knows, right? Like I said, at the end of the day, we here to support the Wizards, and I might still go through to a game or two.
Now, to that point, though.
Okay, what you got?
Swinging it back to Coop. Because of where he goes, Duke, we talking about a white American elite player that the league hasn't seen in over 2 decades, 3 decades. Just on the business side of it, Coop is going to put butts in the seats over Ace and Harper. Do you look at it from that standpoint and say, no, we have to take Cooper Flag because he's going to put butts in those seats? Even if you don't think he's necessarily the best talent, he is definitely the best draw. It's almost kind of like an Angel Reese pick for the Mystics.
Yeah.
You know he's going to put butts in the seats.
So I'll say this. Put my corporate hat on. Right, my corporate, yes. If we're leaning in that direction, it's the best of both worlds, right? Because not only from an image standpoint will he put butts in seats, but he's clearly got the talent, right? Yeah. So you couple those two things together, then boom, right? Like good old American, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
White boy come in, he's got a lot of talent, and he's really good. So I mean, yeah, you look at it from that side of things, and the NBA hasn't seen that in a while. By all means, go for it. And look. Like I said,
because Stephen A. gonna be at them games.
Oh yeah, he gonna Stephen A. gonna be at them games.
He gonna be at them games.
We're gonna have more ESPN games, more national televised games. So look, I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm gonna be happy no matter what happens. I'm just saying, like I'm just glad I ain't gotta make that choice. Because to me, it literally goes Ace, Coop, Harper, just like that. So. We'll see what happens from that standpoint. Let's talk about the women real quick because now I'm definitely excited for the women's side of the bracket. More importantly, from the Mystics side, let's also talk about that because right now the Washington Mystics got the third pick in next year's draft, the third, the fourth, and the sixth. So we're talking about 3 picks in the lottery, and we got some ballers, right? You got Paige, that's going to be the highlight of this class,
Yeah.
right? You got Anessa Morrow from LSU, Dominique Malonga, right? I think she's international. You got Kiki
Yep.
Ephraim, you got Tahina Pow, Ozzy Fudd, right? You said
Home
local.
team, home team.
Yep. So I mean, look, the Mystics down. You want to talk about something exciting for what they're going to start putting together? I mean, I'm good. So my question for you is one, you know, what you think the Mystics going to end up doing?
I, I I love the position the Mystics are in, even though
Yeah,
I'm still a little salty they didn't take Angel Reese.
I am too.
I'm still a
I'm
little
pretty low
salty
to
about
so
that.
yeah.
But shout out to Leah Edwards because she looked good in that in that tournament.
Yep.
But I think the position there, and I think it's all in for Paige, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. What are they gonna do with 3 top 6 picks?
Yeah.
Nah. Go get the prize.
So
Go get the
and
prize,
look,
man.
what y'all gonna
We
see
know
is
what it's about.
off camera. We talked about this, man, and I like being aggressive and getting Paige, but it's like, what happens next year with Juju, and
Maybe.
Juju
Can
can.
you wait on that? Do they got the rope to wait on that?
I think, and we had a whole GOAT status before y'all say we had a whole talk about who the GOAT in the WNBA, right? We talked about Diana Taurasi, we talked about Candace Parker, you know what I'm saying? We talked about Lisa Let, like we talked about a whole bunch, right? Maya Moore, my GOAT personally, Candace Parker for him, but like, here's the thing. Juju is she's that difference, man. She's just like I don't like it's just kind of how we say like, Bub's a dog, like she's a dog, she's a difference maker. Like I just kind of think that you kind of almost have to think and prepare for that. You get Paige now. I'm not saying them two couldn't play on the floor together. Maybe you make some moves. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you don't trade up for Paige here, you definitely trade one of these picks for somebody who you believe ain't gonna be that good next year, and try to get that number 1
So
pick
you're trying to get you're trying to take one of the top 6 picks this year
for
and
next
turn
year.
it into a pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a gamble,
It's a
man.
gamble because
It's
you
a gamble
think
because she don't have to come out.
she don't. But guess what you do? You take that pick, you flip it again.
Flip it again.
She only got 4 years.
See now you playing poker now,
She
man.
only got
You playing
she
poker,
only
man.
got 4 years, man. She only got 4
Oh
years.
boy, man.
She only got 4
So
years.
what you gonna tell Mystics fans? Hey, look, we build it for the draft. We build it through the draft for another 2 years. Like
What is that? It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a
I
marathon,
feel you.
not a sprint.
Juju is that good, man. She's
Yeah.
that box office. I think she's every bit as box office as Caitlin Clark,
Mm-hmm.
but probably even more because I think her game is even more versatile
Mm-hmm.
and marketability wise. I think she has another level because
Yeah.
from a fashion and just like I feel like she could touch many different arenas.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were saying off camera, like I feel like Paige. I mean not Paige. I feel like Caitlin Clark is the Larry Bird
Yeah.
and Juju is the Magic. And so the WNBA needs this, and I
Mm-hmm.
think the team that gets Juju, man, them dollars gonna be
So
them
it's
dollars.
funny because Caitlin Clark is already out here selling out NBA arenas,
Right,
right? So
right.
you telling me, like the Mystics will have to permanently move to
Oh, they
Cap
gotta go
One,
to Cap One.
permanently?
They
Because
gotta
I'm
go to
telling
Cap
you,
One.
every single game, if we get Juju, it's a wrap. So all right, let's go ahead and quickly get into I forgot Olivia Miles at Notre Dame. I'm talking about
Yeah.
her too, a dog. I forgot about that. So my bad for not mentioning this. I just want to give love because like I'll be honest, as far as like the tournament is concerned, as far as excitement, I'm up here when it comes to the women's
It's more
tournament.
star power, bud. It's more star power.
Exactly, and it's just so, especially South Carolina. Like, so growing up, Pat Summitt Tennessee teams, that was my favorite team to watch. Rest in peace, Pat Summitt. With Candace Parker, Shamika Hoslaw, like all those, like my favorite. Definitely South Carolina. Like South Carolina is my new favorite team to watch. I don't care who they got. So I'll be honest. I'm putting all my chips on South Carolina. Doing it this year. I coach, team, everything. South Carolina just taking it now. UConn, Notre Dame, even USC I definitely think USC gonna make some noise. I don't know, man. Like I'm never gonna doubt a South Carolina team. That's just me. On the men's side, I'll be honest, it's a crapshoot. I'm probably thinking while I'm looking at this bracket, I think I'm gonna pick a sleeper, man. I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston. That's my sleeper. That's my sleeper because
They've been knocking on the door, man.
They've
They've been knocking on the door.
Yeah. And then how many times have they been to the Final Four now? They didn't, or Elite Eight, Final Four, like year after year. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's about that time.
This is gonna be so the opposite of a hot take, but I'm gonna stick with Auburn, man.
You stick with Auburn?
They're just because they experience, man. Like it's just so. They've had the toughest schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They've been beating up the SEC, which is probably going to have maybe potentially 3 number 1 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
They battle tested, man. They battle tested. I don't see a team beating them. Duke to me hasn't played nobody.
Yeah.
So they ain't been tested.
Yeah.
I could see a scenario where Duke go out round 2.
Honestly, that's why I didn't pick them. But my sleeper then. I mean, what you think about Maryland, hometown team? Sleeper.
I was going to get to that.
Hey, hold on. Before we get there, man, we about to end this segment. I ain't gonna quiz you. We ain't gonna do that. What we gonna do is this segment. Every time Domo come onto the show, he gonna give his crystal ball prediction.
Oh, man.
He gonna tell us a few things about the team, who he thinking about from the men's and women's side of the bracket. You know what I'm saying? Who you think is gonna make it or sleeper. We're gonna also talk about a couple of players who you keeping an eye on, crystal ball prediction. So let's go. But you missing something though, brother. Can we go ahead and hand that over to him real quick? Let me.
Oh Lord, here you go. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, man.
Let's go ahead.
Here you go with the book. All right, bring it on over here.
Let's go ahead.
Bring it on over here, man.
Go ahead, open that up, brother.
Oh my God.
What you got, man? Go ahead, put that on the table.
Hey, man. Hey. Oh, this is dope. This is fire, bro.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man.
Hey.
Oh, man, it's time for the segment.
Hey.
Domo's crystal ball prediction.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. All right, man. So, man, all right. Official segment. Let's talk about the first thing, man. Your sleepers, men's and women's, team-wise in the tournament.
Men bracket. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go. I mean, is it really a? My sleeper is Maryland.
Maryland. All right.
Third queen. I just think you can't stop him. Nobody can stop him. So he's gonna lead him.
I think the crazy part about him is like watching more of his game. It's old school, but it's like slow, but it's still fluid. It's nice, man. And I'm starting to become a real believer. Now I don't know where he's gonna go in the draft, but if he's sitting there at 20, see my whole thing is too like he could definitely play that power forward position. Without a doubt, or he could be interchangeable between power forward and center.
You know how to shoot it.
I think you go big lineup, and then let me say this: most likely play the center. But what I'm saying is, if you got like Sarr, who could definitely be interchangeable, you can see him over there. Now again, that's big if like we go Harper or Ace, because Ace to me can play like 2 through 4, maybe. He could still even play 1 if you want to bring up the ball, but 2, 3, or 4. So it really just depends. But I'll let the GM figure, what I'm saying? I'll let Dawkins figure all that out. All right, what you got on the women's side?
Juju, man.
Oh,
USC,
boy, you speaking.
Let's
speaking to my heart, bro. Talking about Juju, man.
Make history. Go make history, man. Yeah. Go USC, man. That's the
USC.
Pick, right?
Yeah, look, that'd be nice. I'm still pushing all my chips in on South Carolina. So
for sure.
But man, look, if Juju and them win it, I would definitely be happy too.
That would be crazy.
All right, man. Last question. This will send us off. And I need you to hold or do your crystal ball prediction here, man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Who should we be looking at in the draft, man, that the Wizards could potentially be looking at, whether it's with that, late first, couple seconds, you know what I'm saying? I think last time Carter Knox was one of them. It's cool to take it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes them predictions.
I wrote this down.
Okay, so he knew.
Now, and this is because he's kind of dropped. I feel like his favor, he's kind of dropped on boards recently, but I'm still a fan. I'm gonna go one, Edgar Denham out of BYU.
Okay.
Right, I love his height. I love the IQ he plays with as a kind of do-it-all guy that can shoot it, pass it at a high level. 6'8" with point guard feel.
Yep.
Right. I'm gonna go him, and then I'm gonna go Will Riley. Those two.
Okay. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I thought you was gonna say maybe like was it Boogie Flan out of Arkansas, maybe a little bit, because I do like a little bit of his game, but nah. Hey, look, you heard it here first. Hey, drop it.
What happened,
New
man.
segment. Crystal ball. Hey, look. At the end of the day, he done got a few. He done got a few of them right now. So, hey, man. But anyways, bro, good to be on the show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
Always gonna have
brother.
you back. We're gonna definitely have more segments with him back just like this. Again, this has been the Chocolate City Hoops podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I mean, I don't need to tell y'all, it definitely helps out the channel so you can see more of this. All the production at LED Studios here in Old Town Alexandria. Just, hey, look, there's a lot that goes into this production, and we try to bring you quality every single episode. So, like I said, make sure to like and subscribe as it helps, and hey, we'll see y'all next month.